Hey everybody, it's Bill from the Zero Check Podcast. I would just like to take a few seconds out of my day to thank you guys for listening. We are still amazed that you guys are entertained by what we are doing. I would also like to take a second to invite everybody to our Discord channel. Chris will have the link in the description. Please stop by, say hello. We love chatting with you, and we also love your feedback. If you could please also just press the like button on whichever platform you're listening to the podcast on, that would also be great. That's all I got today. Thanks for listening. Please enjoy episode 18.
This is going to be a great episode.
This is.
It's going to be. I have a good feeling about everything that's going to happen. You know, I've wrapped some presents for you guys. Yeah. You guys can open figuratively. But before we get too far into this, I need to take a moment and just speak to my fellow GMs and ask you whether you've just had a fight that has just not gone according to plan. Have you ever hyped a boss up a little bit? You know, maybe spent, I don't know, 3 episodes talking about a boss. We'll just call him Blarbluck. Have you ever hyped the boss up a lot and then you get in there and you start the fight and you're feeling good about it? Maybe you even beefed up the front line that was supposed to protect the boss from the players, and then it just falls apart, just went sideways on me. The Tartuk fight went sideways on me and it didn't go well. But that's just the way that it goes sometimes. So I'm going to try to move on and also just increase the difficulty across the board from here on out, guys. So
we are the special forces of Pathfinder 2e. So
Yes, we are.
You guys are just, swinging yourselves through this cave. Oh, no, this Tartuk's not going to be a problem. I've got these NPCs being like, whoa, he's level 4, okay? Be careful with Tartuk. And then at the end, Tartuk gets 1 cantrip off before he is slain.
It was message. He cast message.
Well, you did cast a lot of message. That's true. So
I'd like to say that's the first game I've ever had message used.
Yeah,
actually in a gameplay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I thought that, I will give myself a B for the reveal aspect of it. I thought that one, you guys didn't put Tartuk together until moments before the fight began, that he was Tartuccio. And really, none of you guys have played the computer game, but in the computer game, if you don't find the right clues, it's pretty unclear. And you might even fight Tartuk and he just dies. And then it's like, oh, it's Tartuccio. That's crazy. What's that all about? But whatever. I digress. Would you guys like some experience points?
Please. Yes.
We haven't had experience
Dude,
in
a long time.
That loot. I want to see that loot.
All right. Experience points wise, we're going to take it all the way back to the rickety bridge, the very thing that you did after you leveled up on the owl bear. Do you guys remember what episode even was that? Like 11 or something, I think.
That was a while ago.
We should just go automatically to level 3, I think. We've done enough.
How many experience points do you estimate you've earned in the last?
I would say 600.
Okay. Chris?
533.33 repeating, of course.
Repeating, of course.
Of course.
Donnie?
$1.
Oh. Damn it, Donald.
Damn it. He's going to win.
God, he's so
I guess
smart.
you could bet $2.
Yeah, $2.
Like
30 experience for repairing the bridge. Then you found the old sycamore tree. 20 experience for finding the old sycamore tree. You entered the old sycamore. You killed those 2 strong mitflits on the first floor. 30 experience each for a total of 60 experience points. You then killed 6 weak mitflits, 2 levels below you. At 20 experience pop, 120 experience points for killing the 6 tormentor mitflits that were tormenting poor Mikmek. You rescued Mikmek. 30 experience points. You killed the giant whiptail centipede, a level 3 combatant. 60 experience points.
Yeah.
You recruited Mikmek through a little roleplay. 30 experience points.
See, Donnie? Worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You solved the rigged climbing loops hazard. 30 experience points. The war room Grabbles, a level 2 combatant worth 40 experience points. Tickleback, a level 1 combatant worth 30 experience points. And 4 level -1 Mitflits for a total of 80 experience points there. Are you with me still, fellas?
Yep.
You then went into the hatchery where you fought the rest of the dungeon. 7 more Mitflits, 140 experience points for those 7 Mitflits. 3 giant centipedes, 60 experience for those, for a total from the old sycamore of 730 experience points.
Holy shit.
I'll take it.
I lost.
Yeah, Bill won.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have
700.
far off.
It was, what was 720 for the 6?
730.
730.
I think is what I got, but we can listen back now.
Yeah.
But you moved on, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
You next went to the Suitscale Caverns, where you visited with Snickerdoodle out front. 20 experience points for talking to him and learning what he knew. And 20 experience points for allowing Snickerdoodle to help you bypass the pit traps. You returned the statue to Chief Suitscale. 30 experience points. The 3 Tartuk Kobold meatheads that you fought during the Tartuk encounter, 30 experience pop for a total of 90 experience points. Tartuk/Tartuccio himself was worth 80 experience points. And you saved Chief Suitscale, who survived the encounter, 40 experience points.
Damn.
Would anyone like to do a little bit of math? Or would you just like me to tell you where you're at?
So 1,010.
I was just waiting for that. I could have added them up, but I was like, that's a lot of numbers.
1,010 experience points. What does it mean, fellas?
We have to go kill that Mitflit in the entrance.
Yeah.
No, it means you go to level 3. We do. Goons.
We ascend.
Boom. Hell yeah.
Let's talk it through.
Merry Christmas.
Actually, let's talk it through, dudes.
Damn, that 44 max HP feels sweet on my skin.
On your skin.
Ooh, I get level 2 spell slots.
Oh,
I've
nice.
never had level 2 spell slots. I'm so excited.
This is the favorite thing I've read today. At 3rd level and every level thereafter, increase your explosions damage by 1d6.
Woo.
I like
That
also.
scales nicely.
That scales very nicely. Like 5d6 at level 5. Oh,
20d6 at level 20.
oh my god. Like,
So we should give you some space.
might be worth me getting in there early.
And then I don't think Roll20 increases the cantrips. We have to do that manually.
Yeah, your cantrips all upgraded. Everyone's cantrips did. They go to 2nd level.
Caltrops? Is that what he said? Caltrops?
Caltrops, so we all get second level caltrops.
2nd level caltrops. If they existed in this game, then you guys would get it.
Oh.
The next time we're at an outpost, I'm gonna buy like 50 caltrops and just throw them in the van.
Keston Garris will be like, now, you know those things are like gravity knives, right? They're illegal. You can't buy those. They're not allowed.
They're like bottle rockets outside of Missouri.
You know you can't buy gravity knives, bottle rockets, and caltrops. They're considered a weapon of war.
Yeah, but it can build fucking landmines.
They maim, but do not kill.
The 3 things in Galeria that are heavily regulated are the things that we want, sadly.
I'm sure you guys are looking for gravity knives in the core rulebook right now. Brad, tell us about Mitchell. Level 3, my gosh.
Level 3, a couple fun things. Explode gets an extra d6 of damage.
I'm staying away from him during combat.
Yep. So I need a little time. I just need to get higher initiative rolls. So we'll work on that in a couple levels if I can.
You should have taken the increased initiative feat.
Yeah, didn't do that.
Yeah, anyway. Didn't do it. Sorry.
Didn't do that.
Starting to think he needs a little bit of Die Hard in his life, so he took that general feat.
Nice.
It's such I'll be so thankful to have it when I need it.
Oh, that first time you go to Dying 4.
Yep.
He saved you.
NBD. A couple things I can reconfigure my armor to do different things. Kind of change any like resistances on it. Right now I've got a speed boost on it to overcome the weight of it. Blah, 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 boring stuff. But nobody really cares.
Blah, blah.
And I get Expert Overdrive. It just adds an extra point of damage when I spin my armor up.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, what about you, Donnie? How did it go? How's third level Bash Trand?
I'm excited. So I took, for the general feat, I took Canny Acumen, and spent that inside of, so what does Canny Acumen do, you may ask? To which I would respond, your avoidance or observation is beyond the kin of most in your profession. Choose fort saves, reflex saves, will saves, or perception. You become an expert in your choice. So for that, I took reflex saves. So I'm now an expert in reflex.
So that's kind of like a soft spot on the druid is the reflex save, and you took Canny Acumen to shore that up.
I did, because I was also this level getting alertness, which moves me to expert in perception. And I was already an expert in will. And then I also this level got great fortitude, which moved me to expert in fort saves. So I'm expert in all saving throws now. So
that is pretty nice.
Is it Canny or Canny? I'm sorry, I was
Canny. It's Canny. I think that's Canny.
Canny.
Coca Canny, right?
Like what?
Canny.
Like walking cane, but can.
Can, yes, can, not cane.
I was getting a Canny.
I was getting a Canny too. I was like
Canny.
Canny. You were saying Canny.
Was I saying Canny?
Yeah, you did say Caney.
You said Canny.
I said I meant to say Canny Acumen.
Caney.
I was like Donnie can't read.
I can't, apparently. Well, I can read, I just can't.
Son of a bitch.
Pronounce.
Like I can't read.
I'm illiterate. I've faked it
gotten
this
so far in
far.
life?
Yes. Sorry, did I really say Caney? I meant Canny.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Canny.
I don't know.
There's Caney Fork River out here by my
We'll
house.
listen back.
Anything
else on Bash?
No. He's going to spend some gold and get hooked on phonics while we're at the next the next time we shop. But other than that, no.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Well, I guess your cantrips went to second
My
level.
cane trips did, yeah.
Your cane trips.
His cane trips.
All right. Bill, what's up with Dry Coal May?
So Dry. Sorry.
Sorry, Donnie.
So Dry got a skill increase, a general feat, and Iron Will. Iron Will just raised my will saves to expert level. The skill increase I put in stealth, so I could take the feat Quiet Allies.
Nice.
Quiet Allies is where the whole group just relies on the one die check of the lowest person in the group's stealth plus my level plus
your proficiency bonus.
plus my proficiency. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's this whole thing of like, if you guys are wanting to sneak through a dungeon all together, Dry Coal May telling everyone what to do. Everyone gets auto successes, and it's just who's the lowest stealth mod in the party right now.
It'd be Bash.
I think it's Bash. I've got a +2. I'm untrained.
So it's like finding campsites, except higher stakes in the dungeon, basically.
But it's a good feat to promote teamwork. So I think that's it's always fun.
That's right.
And if we get caught, just remember it's all your fault.
It's all my fault. Absolutely.
That's right. Bill did everything he could.
Yep. Did the best I could.
Chris.
Yeah, so like the others, Sirio got a general feat. He's taking improved initiative because I want to go before everyone. Also got signature spells, so that allows me to pick one spell that I know at each level and be able to automatically heighten it. So that's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
So right now I'm going to key that in on the Burning Hands because that increases the damage by a lot.
That scales nicely.
And then another thing, we get some second level spells. So Assyria only learns spells through experience. So it ties quite nicely into the bloodline spell for the Phoenix bloodline is See Invisibility. So I've had a little bit of experience with invisible characters, and now I know how to see them.
That's pretty cool.
That'll be
I
handy.
like that. That plays in really nicely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sharptooth.
And your HP all went up a lot too, which is really probably the most important thing.
Yes.
Brad, where are you
Very
at? What's
nice.
Mitchell at now?
38.
38. Dry Coal May?
44.
44.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pumped some con, man, I guess. But, okay. Well, gosh, so you guys are sitting around in this cave. The corpse of Tartuccio is before you, his neck freshly slit by Sirio Xavier Sertova. And you've all leveled up. You feel really good. Chief Suit Scales in this room with you as well. He's sort of looking around, almost bewildered that he is now back in control totally of the Suit Scales. What do you do?
I think we get all the suit scales into the room over by Mikmek. I guess that's their throne room, you would call it?
Team meeting.
Fuck that. We're getting loot right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we search this Tartuccio some bitch?
Well, change of plans. Mitchell decides he wants to ravage Tartuccio's body.
I want to just fondle his small sack. That's all.
Yeah.
I get that.
Oh my. You know, he is carrying as I'm sure everybody has suspected, he's carrying a bag of holding.
Yes.
And you open up the bag of holding and you find a couple of things. First of all, you just want to do the money first? You want the money?
Give me the money.
I mean, I like money.
I want the
320
gold.
copper pieces, 42 silver pieces, 12 gold pieces coming out of that bag.
Yeah.
2 arrows that emanate magic come out of the bag as well.
I don't have any arcana.
I'll do a check on those.
Give it a roll, man. See if you know what they are.
It's going to be a 20 adjusted.
You know what these are. These are sleep arrows.
Ooh.
I don't know what sleep arrows do myself, but
I don't either, so I'm going to
Mitchell
stab
Graham
Dry in the
does.
leg with it and see what happens.
He goes to sleep.
It's kind of like mace. You got to be used with it before you're allowed to actually use it on people.
You got to get licensed.
2 sleep arrows.
You know, a rune stone comes out of this bag. It's got a +1 weapon potency rune scribed upon it.
Oh, my.
As you know, you can take that off of the stone and affix it to weapon. Tartuccio was carrying a sickle made out of cold iron.
Oh.
He had a cold iron sickle on him. And he's got a magic wand on his person as well. I'll just take, you know what, man, we're going to roll that 20 over onto all these things because I don't want to make you roll it over and over again. You found a wand of magic missile.
Oh,
Nice.
Pretty nice.
Remind me with wands, you have to know the spell to be able to use that? Or you have to
I
trick
think
item?
I think it might have to be in your spell casting school. So
Okay.
I'm not sure either Sirio or Bashk can use this wand of magic missile, but you guys can look into that here in a bit. You're sifting through all the crap that came out of his bag, and the brooch of shielding is there as well. Somehow he must have gotten it back from his Eldori guards.
Ooh.
The brooch that he tried to frame young Sirio with has been reacquired. A journal comes out of his bag as well.
I would just give that straight to Sirio, just knowing that this guy's got...
Yeah.
So this journal, how many pages is it, or is it like diary, like dear journal? They were so mean to me at back in
Dear Diary, I've decided to kill Sirio Xavier Sertova after he made a short joke about me in front of Aldori Jamandi Aldori, whatever her name is. And also, I am a jerk, and bloody blah. No, there actually are rantings about Sirio in the journal.
Wow.
As you begin reading through this
I have
stuff,
hate mail.
you guys got a little bit of hate mail.
Oh, man.
There's a couple of things here. Let's kind of pick this apart bit by bit. First of all, you kind of get some backstory on Tartuccio. He's very carefully avoided saying where he's from. You have your suspicions that it's Pitox because he, of course, had this brooch with the Pitaxian, decorations on it or whatever, and of course accused you guys of being Pitaxian spies. But he nowhere actually talks about Pitox. He does talk about his patron, though, and again, doesn't reveal who it is, almost kind of like intentionally keeping things vague, but writing for his own edification. And he talks about how he's never met his patron before, but that he loves his patron, and that he'd do anything to get his patron's attention, such as conquering the stolen lands. And that he's just kind of almost kind of obsessed, almost kind of like You know how, like, you might stalk us, like, you know, how you hear in the news sometimes people stalking celebrities and stuff, you know, like, oh, I know this person, you know, even though they don't know me, I know them because they're famous. Like, that's the kind of vibe that you get off of Tartuccio. And as you're reading through these, as you're looking through these pages, it just kind of gets sadder and sadder. And, you know, he basically, his whole plan was like, I'm going to make it big in the Stolen Lands, so that my patron will finally know who I am and will respect me and will want to be friends with me and hang out with me and everything. And then Sirio begins to feature heavily after, of course, the night of the feast at the Eldori Manor. He's from a noble family, everything ever handed to him. But then things, Sirio, kind of take a strange turn, because Sirio, Tartuccio looked into you a little bit during his time on the run and has some rantings about a clouded family lineage. Clouded lineage. Is he really a Sertova? Is his family really? Or was there some chicanery, some shenaniganry a generation or two back? Stuff that he's speculating, no answers, just questions. But you're sitting here reading this and, you know, it may give you your own questions. Maybe you've already always had questions about your lineage. I don't know. But Tartuccio seems to be connecting dots, I guess, so to speak. But then you keep rifling through, and one question that might be on your mind is, how did he turn into a kobold? That's weird. Well, the ritual to change form is in this journal.
Oh.
And
nice.
You think that with sufficient time to study it, maybe it could be reproduced. And it's not just a kobold. You can change your form to any ancestry of the same size. And it lasts a week but can be dismissed at will. It just takes money in the form of reagents to do this ritual. Very interesting opportunity for disguising and stuff. And this is a magic that Tartuccio developed himself.
Wow.
That could definitely come in handy.
Yeah, rituals.
So, Mike, on rituals, any character can learn rituals, right?
I think that's true, yeah.
So we can all learn it.
Really, yeah, rituals are kind of a mini game. They kind of take the free, and I got to brush up on this a little bit. I knew about rituals more in Pathfinder First Edition, but I think they work relatively the same in Pathfinder Second Edition. But it's kind of a skill check mini game. Like, you have one primary caster who, again, could be anyone, and then you have assistant casters, and everyone is having to pass a certain amount of skill checks within a certain time frame to make the ritual work. And this particular ritual takes a few hours to cast. It's not a short thing. Like, this is a big thing. And then you also realize that Tartuccio must have had help to change forms this way. You can't do it alone.
So I guess in his journal of rantings and ravings and worship of his patron, are there any other names mentioned, or is it just mainly his patron, himself, and Sirio?
His patron, himself, Sirio, and he lays out the two companions that he was traveling with in the Stolen Lands, and what happened to those two companions. And you are completely correct that the first companion was Tassum, who he would come across in the Stolen Lands after slipping his guard, and would recruit Tassum. You know, the journal doesn't say one way or another whether Tassum knew about Tartuccio's baggage or that he was an evil guy. The truth is, you don't know whether Tassum's an evil guy. But the second name maybe surprises you, maybe doesn't. Jaethal was traveling.
What?
That is surprising.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, she's evil as well. She'd thrown her lot in with him. As far as the fate of these two, I mean, you know that he would eventually turn on them, imprison them, and then he brought his two prisoners to the kobolds to show his power. But you haven't seen any evidence of these prisoners so far in these caves.
Mitch moves to the south of the cave, kind of the passageway that we did not go up the first time.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything in there to see.
It looks like there's like another cell like right in front of him.
Yeah, Mitch, you are standing in front of what appears to be another jail cell that's been carved into the rock. This comes off of the temple area where Tartuccio died. And as you look in, you see the gear and equipment that Tassim and Jathel were carrying. You see all of Tassim's crap strewn everywhere, and his mirror and his other things, and you see her scythe propped up against the back wall, clean. But she is nowhere to be found, and he is nowhere to be found. And Chief Suitscale will walk up, and he'll say, "That's where he kept his prisoners. But they're not here."
Thanks.
Clearly.
Well, would you like to know where they are? I was working my way around to telling you.
So Suitscale's kind of saying that the owners of these items were Tartuk's prisoners.
Yes.
Well, I'm kind of torn because I was about to put their names in my little revenge book. But if Tartuccio also turned on them, I just don't know.
The chief will look to the others, and I'm embarrassed that it was allowed to happen. Things were different at that time. These prisoners were sold to slavers that came through this area. Tartuk sold them, along with other midflits.
No, I feel like we have to go rescue them from the slavers just because.
Yeah, that's a little problematic. We need to probably clear that up.
Yeah, I will not have slavers in our territory.
Can you tell us more about these slavers?
Do you have an address?
I don't know their coordinates, their GPS coordinates, but I do know that he gestures over to Sirio. They all were like him. He used magic, all of them.
Well, shit.
Well, that's going to end well for us.
Slave wizard.
Slave wizards.
Wizard slavers.
Meanwhile, Chief Suitscale is also kind of rooted around on the ground where the statue was that he destroyed. And, this was never described really enough because, man, things just move fast when I'm trying to keep all this stuff straight. But I think I mentioned once that the statue had these, glinting yellow eyes inset deep in the stone. Well, that's really all that's left behind now is this topaz the size of Suitscale's fist. And it looks to be worth about 30 gold. And Suitscale will hand it to Sirio and say, "It's the least I can offer you for helping me maintain order. Please take this."
Yeah, and I accept it with gratitude and hand it over to our quartermaster there.
Does anybody see a gold wedding ring?
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere?
Oh. Let's look in the bag again. Yes.
Deeper into the bag.
Deeper into the bag. You look in there again. Yes. There is a gold wedding band with a small green gem set on it, which looks like you have finally recovered the most important thing of all. Svetlana's wedding ring. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Oh,
we did it. Guys,
what a quest.
Does it even look anything special, or is it just kind of a plain, boring wedding ring?
It's plain and boring,
I get the
man.
sentimental value of it, but come on.
You think it's worth about 12 gold pieces?
Perfect. That's what I was going to ask. Just wondering.
Just hypothetically, what's it worth? 12
How much
gold
would it
pieces.
cost me to craft an iron wedding ring and paint it yellow?
Just hypothetically.
But it's paint.
Meanwhile, you might make your way back to the throne room with Chief Suitscale, who is gathering the remaining Suitscale kobolds. Oh, by the way, I went ahead and calculated the experience that you gained at level 3 for sparing the 16 remaining Suitscale kobolds. Because, see, this could have gone two ways. You could have treated this as a dungeon and simply killed everybody here. Gotten the wedding ring, killed Tartuccio, maybe figured out what to do after that. But I don't want to penalize you guys for taking the diplomatic route. I'm going to give you 160 experience points into level 3
Oh, hell yeah.
for sparing all of these kobolds who are alive because of the decisions you've made.
How much experience would it be to kill him?
Yeah. What are we looking at there?
160.
We
should leave him alive.
We haven't talked to Suitscale or to Mikmek about the conditions of their survival yet,
Oh my god.
but I'm sure it's going to happen here in the next 5 minutes or so.
Well, we
my
did
God.
we did
Well-
kind of breach that with them, that they need to align with us. And Suitscale was open to that, but we weren't quite ready to close the deal.
Yeah, we need a peace summit.
Yeah, and we're kind of getting into some kingdom activities here and stuff. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the kingdom rules, but there is the pledge fealty activity where you might have an allied group that's in your borders and a hex you've claimed, and there's a skill check to roll. I think you have your emissary go out there and work out the deets. But that might be a conversation for another day. As you're back in the throne room, Suitscale is talking with the 16 remaining Suitscale kobolds, and you realize that he's in the midst of stepping down, and he's talking to them low and slow, saying this happened because I was weak. This imposter infiltrated and usurped power because I was not strong enough to keep it. And yes, through this intervention, through these friends of ours, we came out on top, but we lost many, many friends. And I'm not fit to lead this tribe anymore. And he takes his skull headdress off, and he looks around, and he chooses his successor. It is Snickerdoodle.
Chief Snickerdoodle.
Chief Snickerdoodle.
Can I execute Snickerdoodle in front of everybody and give it to
Whoa.
Mikmek?
No. Fully no.
I feel like Mikmek would be a better ally to us than Chief Snickerdoodle.
Mikmek's gonna stick
Snickerdoodle.
with us, man.
Chief Snickerdoodle and the Suitscale kobolds cease to be called the Suitscale kobolds
Oh my god.
and are now the Snickerdoodle kobolds.
So let me note that. We'll X out Snickerdoodle. Okay.
Snickerdoodle.
The Snickerdoodle kobold.
Because you kind of got the feeling here, Snickerdoodle.
So this is like the bone crown placed on Snicker, like
Yeah.
it's
Yes, the bone
semi-official
crown
looking,
is-
at least in kobold society.
Yes. And, you come to find out that, Snickerdoodle was really keeping things together a lot. Mikmek was kind of more an adventuring guy. He was out and about and doing his thing, and he was a frontline soldier. But Snickerdoodle is really kind of the administrator, kind of the right-hand guy for Chief Suitscale. And these kobolds are excited and happy for their friend, and Snickerdoodle assumes leadership of this tribe.
I feel like this is like the Ewoks, or whatever, when they had the Ewoks and are all dancing around and partying at the end of it.
I think in an alternate universe, Frogfucker comes back, and this is a totally different.
Frogfucker kobolds.
Yes.
Frog fucker kobolds.
But Snickerdoodle kobolds will do, I guess.
Yay.
Does Snickerdoodle know more about? Excuse me. Does Chief Snickerdoodle know more about these slavers that came through?
Yes, I do. It's good that you out. I'm the guy that knows things.
Oh, Jesus.
They said they were with the Technic League. Have you heard of the Technic League?
Have I
Let
heard
me
of the technically?
recall knowledge.
Can I do a society check for
That'd
that?
be society.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
27.
That's good, because Sierra got a 1 untrained.
Yeah. I got 11, so yeah. Hopefully Mitch has heard of these guys.
Mitch, you've heard of the Technic League. They are a Numerian band of casters who enslave others into their league, eventually groom them for membership. Numeria is a region to the northwest of the Stolen Lands, a region that's known for both advanced magic but also some technological advancement as well. And looks as though the Technic League, they're not like governmental or anything. This is a private organization, but it looks as though the Technic League might be operating a little bit in the Stolen Lands. You think that perhaps they may come down into this region, the Stolen Lands, to find people and then take them back to Numeria. Some pretty bad stuff, some trafficking sort of thing going on here. But
Interesting.
if Snickerdoodle is right, looks as though Tartuccio's final favor to these two allies that he found in the Stolen Lands was to sell them into slavery with the Technic League. This would have happened not that long ago, maybe 3, 4, 5 days ago.
As we're talking about slavers and selling people, you guys can see Dry's physically getting angered. Like, you can just look at him and be like, oh, he's real mad.
Yeah, this is not a good deal.
So yeah, I'm kind of picking up on this body language, and knowing that there was a little bit of that going on here, I'm going to kind of poke and prod Snickerdoodle and ask, is this the only instance of that's happened in your clan, or have you dealt with these with the Technic League before?
No, it's the first time we ever saw them. Tartuccio, I think as you knew him, seemed to know who they were. Maybe he hadn't met them before, but he said, as Tartuk announced them as the Technic League when they were first seen by our scouts. Based on their description alone, he knew who they were. But no, we had never had dealings with them before.
And we take it you won't again.
No.
Be the shortest-lived kingship in this game.
All hail the king.
And the reason I ask that is probably later down the line you'll be hearing from our emissary. Potentially Mikmek will come hold a peace summit and potentially set up an alliance with you guys. So, there are just a couple ground rules for that to even happen, and no slavery is one of those things.
We'll start with that one.
Okay.
Mikmek, are we...
I mean, we can take him back to the outpost. He'd probably
make him an offer?
Something, yeah.
See if he wants to join us?
Offer
yeah, so can we tell, as
rock.
far as NPC friendliness level, similar to how we've kind of, made skill checks with What's-Her-Face, the other one, and Cigar Smoker.
What was
Valerie?
that? It was like our first episode where we had to roll for...
Yeah. With everything that you and Mikmek have been through together, I mean, you've saved his life, you've returned his clan to a baseline, you've defeated Tartuccio, you would have sufficient influence with Mikmek that if you wanted to make him a follower, he would very likely go with you. But, assuming you broach the subject with him, he's reticent to leave the diminished numbers of the Snickerdoodle clan behind until Snickerdoodle puts a hand on his shoulder and says, you need to go with them. You need to show others what we're about. And you need to come back.
Is there anything in this? Is this just their cave, or is it actually a mine?
It is a mine.
Silver mine.
It's a silver mine. Right?
This mine goes a lot deeper down into the ground. There's this, as you can see on this map here, there's a pathway off to the side that just leads basically into just the mine proper. It's clear that this mine could be worked again
cool. That
someday.
leaves us kind of a lot of options to utilize and befriend and work with these kobolds in the future once we finally set up a kingdom.
So I think what I'm seeing is like Mikmek joins us, and he is the emissary for the kobold clan. Like, so he's the one we'll send out here to kind of to treat with them and
push our agenda on.
Well,
because Mike, you kind of talked about the kingdom rules, and like each of us as players would potentially hold a role, but there's more than 4 roles, so we kind of need to slot in our NPCs.
Here's how that works, is that there are 8 kingdom roles. And I don't have them in front of me, but they're like emissaries, one of them, for example. You need to fill all of the roles, or you take a penalty for each kingdom round, and then you can invest 4 of the roles, meaning that those roles get a bonus for that particular kingdom round. But here's the deal, and we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but some of these NPCs that you're recruiting also automatically invest their favored role in addition to the 4 you choose. So the idea is the 4 roles that you choose for yourselves, you invest those because you guys can really fulfill any role. And then you want 4 NPCs in the remaining 4 roles that automatically invest because they're talented in that way. And you're not going to know, and I mean, when we get into that, we can better grid out, what NPCs you've ended up with and what they're good at and how that might affect your decisions for the roles you guys want to undertake at some point. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting things you can do. But the goal is to get 8 invested roles using 4 of your NPCs.
Right on. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we just exchange numbers with Snickerdoodle and kind of go on our merry way.
So I think, and maybe we can hand wave this and just say it happens, but I think Bash asked Snickerdoodle if we can we? Is there a place that we can stay here tonight to rest and prep before we head back out?
That's smart. I like that.
Snickerdoodle's like, of course. Look, here, let me show you to our bunk bedroom. Here, it's deep down in here. We got plenty of beds. We got lots of food.
Dry is going to go sleep somewhere out by the front doors of the caverns because he's been underground for way too long for the last 7 episodes. And he just can't stomach the fact that he's going to sleep underground or in a cave again.
Interesting. Yeah, so Dry heads out, and
cool.
Just
Split the party. Nice. I like it.
Where here, just outside the front door. Yep. He just wants to be in the open air.
And Ciro is also going to do that because tonight is a full moon. Not a full moon, a new moon.
A new moon.
So
he wants to check track of the calendar. Thank you. Very nice. That's fine. Yeah, you stay the night as guests of the Snickerdoodle kobolds. And the night really passes without any further incident. And you wake up in the morning and again, these kobolds that you've saved, now led by Snickerdoodle, bid you farewell, and Mikmek is with you, a much more sober Mikmek. A Mikmek now with a bit of an older soul. Don't get me wrong, he's still a cocky piece of shit, but he's just, he's just, there's a bit more weight with him now, on his soul a little bit, as he's now been sort of...
He kind of saved his tribe.
Yeah. He did. He brought you back here. He did what he needed to do.
All right.
What do you do now?
Well, I'd propose that we go get the whip.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. We need to go get the shag and wagon.
Yeah, where do we leave that parked? Is it back by the bridge?
Can we see the world map again, Mike?
We hit it. Of course.
It's like we're walking through the mall parking lot. We can't find our car.
We're not going to be able to find it because Dre fucking camouflaged the shit out of it.
Fucking right, I did.
It's right here. Yeah. So you guys...
I'm going to be walking around with my key fob, just pressing the panic button, trying to get the thing to show up.
Let me see here. It's right. It's right here. It's in this rickety bridge hex.
That's right.
So it's about a 2-day journey just to get back to the...
Well, let's do some camping activities. I'm just kidding. Let's not.
Well, have we reconnoitered any of this stuff? We were coming through kind of...
Yeah, we can reconnoiter this.
Reconnoiter? Reconnoiter?
Reconnoiter. I will give you the Sootscale Caverns and the hex with the old sycamore for free. And in fact, let me get the old sycamore on this map because I don't think I've got that for you. Is it right here?
I think it was where that red dot is, isn't it?
There it is. Yeah. There's the old sycamore. I've illuminated it for you on the map here. So as you'll recall, you crossed the bridge in this hex here. You went due east to the old sycamore, and then you veered southeast to get to the Sootscale Caverns.
So we're doing some work in the Greenbelt. I say we just head back to the outpost.
Yeah.
Drop Mikmek off.
I was going to say...
we need to switch out the NPCs.
Yep. We can go north.
Cash out our gear.
Yeah, where we haven't gone through and pick up those hexes as we go. But yeah, I think we need to go back to the trading post at this point.
Yeah, it would be a 5-day journey to retrace your steps and go back to Oleg's trading post. Otherwise, you could take a shorter route just heading straight north. 1, 2, 3. You could do it in 4 days, traveling through unexplored hexes. If you reconnoitered, that would extend the trip to 6 days.
Is this with the wagon?
Yeah, you could. Yes, you could get the wagon. We'll say.
I say we do the 6 day and just knock those squares out while we can.
I kind of like that too. Get back up.
Yeah.
Unload and stock up. And then
we got Mikmek with us in case something goes wrong.
And I think on the way, we kind of need to decide if this the wizard slavers, is that something that takes priority over the stag lord?
I don't know.
Oh, priority over that.
Well, okay.
Yeah. I think we need to have a discussion over the next 6 days and
Is the Stag Lord going anywhere? Because we know that the slavers travel in and out of the territory.
It's a valid point. I'm worried more about the Stag Lord, like, taking over stuff that we've already been through. You know, like, kind of reclaiming.
I get that. I understand. Yeah, I mean, that's a good...
Yeah, you don't know if this is a time-sensitive endeavor. These slavers, Jathel, Tassim, whoever else they might have. You don't know if their expedition is just beginning in the Stolen Lands or if it's ending. You just don't know. And you don't know how to find them either.
Yeah, we know where the Stag Lord is. I'm almost thinking that we go and stock up and maybe start doing some scouting of the Stag Lord's area.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mikmek is now messing with the controls and everything and being a huge nuisance.
Hey, let me drive, guys.
You travel into this hex here, which is previously unexplored. This is a nice bit of plains with the green belt region sort of off to the west. And as you're reconnoitering, I need perception checks from everybody.
Just kind of as a flavor, I've taken an extra buckler and bolted it to the in front of the seat next to me and told Mikmek that's the wheel.
It's like the Super Nintendo controller for your little brother.
Yeah. It's like,
and while we're traveling back to the wagon, I want to put in a commission for Mitch to perhaps maybe work on some leather armor for Syria.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I have an idea for some leather armor with a harness attached to it.
I rolled a 17 plus 8, so 25 on the perception.
I've got a 19.
24.
16 for Mitch.
18 for Bashk.
Bill, what was the total on that?
That was not 25. It's 22. My math is horrible.
So you're proceeding through this, you're on day 2 in this hex. Searching, combing over the plains. A rocky crag juts out from the hills in one area, while the others look at it and move on. Drycombe does not. Something in him tells him there's something here. At the crag's base, Dry finds a 5-foot wide crack. As you look down, you see that it opens up into a 20-foot deep crevasse that widens into a 30-foot diameter cave. The cave wall directly opposite the entrance sparkles slightly.
Shiny.
I'm going to call the fellas over. I'm going to be like, hey, guys, I need you to come look at this. And if I could pull out like a copper coin out of my pocket and have Sirio cast light on it, I'm going to drop it down the crevasse.
Gold light streams out of this opening up toward your eyes as the illuminated coin drops down 30 feet to the bottom.
Can I do a survival check? Do we see any prints or anything around here? 23.
You don't see any evidence of other people being here. This looks undiscovered to you, undisturbed.
I'm going to detect a little magic to see if this is maybe an illusion.
Sure. As you cast the cantrip, you get no indication that there's anything magic going on down there.
And then kind of around the crack that leads into this cave, I'd also like to search it out and look for traps.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
That's what I like.
26.
You don't see any snares in the grass. You don't see anything. This looks totally deserted. And just, again, there's just this crack leading down into a cave. It's closed up. Like, you can't really, not even Mikmek could fit down in there. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 5-foot wide crack. Yeah, so no, I'm sorry. You could all get down in there. Apologies. Reread what I read.
Nobody can get in there. Wait, never mind.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Y'all can. Yeah, it's a vertical drop, but yeah.
Guys want me to go take a look?
Yeah, all right, boys. It looks good to me. Look totally safe. Who's going first?
Rappel down using, the Sirio's baby seat harness, and you're down kind of
it's
in
like
this...
a baby Bumbo.
Yeah, it's baby Bjorn. Yeah.
Bjorn, there we go.
It was well crafted. There was none of that, cinched up ball, stuff going on. Like if you've ever rappelled.
Mitch, you're down in here. It looks kind of like gold.
Okay.
It looks like there might be gold ore. Make a nature check.
Oh, you got the right guy for this.
Yeah.
It's a natural 1.
You're like, it's pyrite. There's nothing down here.
This is shit.
Blow it up.
Forget about this, guys. This is
No.
Guys, it's cheese.
No.
I mean, if you can rig some kind of system and like belay me down with,
Well, yeah. So I
the
climbed.
baby
I would have
harness
just
seat.
climbed down with a rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
We
gonna
don't
climb
need to
down.
belabor this anymore. You have found something
Did we all climb down? Okay.
called a secret resource on the map. You have located a gold mine that
my
could
God.
be exploited someday
Hey.
in
Keep saying someday.
your
I want money
lands.
now. I know.
It's a big module.
I think hopefully
I'm
the listeners
impatient.
can kind of pick up on this, but we were all so puckered for the trap that Mike most likely would have set. That should tell you all a lot about his GM
yeah,
style.
like I was expecting for
Yeah.
Brad to start rolling.
It was the
as a
mouth of a
character.
giant worm, and you are now being digested.
I don't know. I just
It's the Sarlacc pit.
no one knows what to do with it. Yeah, it's a gold mine, guys. It's a
Sweet.
gold mine.
Hell yeah.
So
Awesome.
Before we
Awesome.
leave and head back on our merry little way up to the outpost, I'm going to erase all tracks,
Yep.
any evidence that we were there, and just leave it.
Survival check to hide
Yes.
your tracks.
And I think we need to have a stern discussion with Mikmek at this point that, you know what?
It's a
if you-
18 on the survival check, Mike.
Natural or adjusted?
Adjusted.
Okay. What do you say to Mikmek?
I say if one day in the near future you disappear from our site, we're going to go back to the Snickerdoodle caverns and murder every motherfucking last one of them.
Man, come on, man. Come on, why are you gonna do that, man? I'm not
No,
gonna
I
do
mean,
anything.
I will just say, look, this is you're one of us now. This stays with us.
Just be like, hey, Mikmek, if you play your cards right, some of this gold will be yours too.
There you go.
So
you can
don't-
offer some honey, I guess.
Yeah.
Not the stick.
You know,
Brad has turned into
Really,
me
when-
slowly
when-
over the
when-
last 5 episodes, and I've turned into him.
And Sirio kind of puts in there, and really, when we processor, so too will the
Snickerdoodles.
the
Especially when we
Snickerdoodle
strip mine the
kobolds.
silver.
Whoa! That's phase 2.
Mikmek, for his part, is just sort of like, I mean, this is the furthest. Well, I guess aside from the radish patch. Okay, well, let me tell you this: when you go north of the radish patch back to Oleg's, that will be the furthest that Mikmek has ever been away from the caverns. And so this gold mine thing, like A, he's not even sure what it is. B, as you explain it to him, Mikmek learns that he's got a lot to learn about, this outside world. I don't think that you think that he's where would he even begin?
What's he going to do with gold?
What's he going to do with it? Right. He's learning. And, Mikmek is this example of like raw talent, but like ignorance of the way of the world a little bit, We'll hand wave the next hex up. You do take the time to reconnoiter it, making it claimable someday. But this hex here, nothing of interest was found.
So this hex is where the gold mine was? Oops.
Yeah, can you see it there on the map? I've
That one?
Yeah. Can you hover over that dot and see it?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you make it back to Oleg's trade post. It's a nice clear day. And Chris, how long were you guys away from the outpost? Any idea?
Oh my, quite a bit.
I'd say it's about 2 weeks.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks. Because right now it is Gosrin the 4th. So,
Oh my.
yeah.
On Gosrin 4, you find yourselves back at Oleg's trade post, and things are relatively similar to how you left it. Keston Garrus is there. Oleg Levitin, I believe, is there. Amiri, Harim, and Lindsay are sitting around the picnic table. Bob, Rob, and Todd are up in the ramparts, spitting on the ground. Mabel the bandit is in one of the stables. She's tied up there still, but they let her walk around and stretch, and they're taking good care of her, but she's in jail. Svetlana is like in the house doing the books, and there's a new guy here too, that's sort of talking to Keston and Oleg as you approach. And as you get close to them, Keston is just like, oh my gosh, welcome back. Oh my gosh, who is it? If it isn't Xavier Sertova, you guys kind of notice he and I kind of look the same. You guys see, we got it in the chin here. He and I, we got the same look. You guys ever see that?
I just kind of blankly stare at him and shake my head. No.
Oh, Mitchell Groening. Oh, I heard your dad's out there and about doing well. I received word from Hannes Drelivs. They're doing well. Everyone's fine.
How far out are they?
Oh, very far. They've been traveling almost nonstop all this whole time. But they sent a carrier pigeon.
They're doing okay? Dad's all right?
Everyone's fine. They've not seen nary a thing. They've had nothing happen at all to them, you know. Of all of the expeditions, the only people really to run across any trouble are you guys.
Huh. That just means that other people aren't working hard enough.
They're probably not recording a podcast.
They're probably not looking for podcast content. They're just doing their thing. Keston motions to this dour-looking older man, and he's like, hey, allow me to introduce you to someone. This is Jod Kavkin. Jod, why don't you say hello? Jod here is a bit of a traveling person himself. And Jod's like, hello, pleased to meet you. My name's Jod. Hello?
Hey, Jod.
Hello, Jod.
I'm Mitch.
I'm pleased to make your... Bill, stop flipping your token around. Jod's like, pleased to make your acquaintance. And he's kind of milling around doing his thing. And don't mind me.
Jod,
and,
my name is Dry Colnay. So you travel these lands a lot, huh? Are you out and
yes.
about?
Oh, yes, many years. I'm from Galt originally, and I'm here seeking, it's a big, long story. I'm not sure you want to hear it right now, but...
Oh, I do. I want to hear it in detail.
Oh my.
At least 10 minutes worth.
We'll get to Jod here in a second, but...
I was just going to ask him about the slaver mages. That's where I was going.
Technically.
Oh, interesting.
Because he travels around.
Yes. I've ducked the Technic League myself within the last couple of weeks.
Have you had dealings with them, or have you just talked
to them? I know who they are. I've hidden from them.
Oh, where?
Smart move. Yeah, where was the last place you saw him?
In the green belt, to the west.
Oh.
Yes. Jod will tell you his deal here a little bit. You know, Jod is he's kind of an interesting guy. As the day goes on, you kind of get some info from him. He is an excommunicated priest of Aristal. And he was excommunicated from the church for a couple different reasons. He doesn't really get into it with you, but he's a disgraced priest. He has visions that he believes might lead him someday to his salvation of a temple buried deep within the green belt, deep within the forests, and tells you there could be something supernatural hidden out in the forests to the west. It was there that he came across the Technic League, or rather the Technic League almost came across him, but he hid from them, knowing them by reputation. With that close call, he made his way to Oleg's, where he hopes to wait for the next few weeks for the League to leave the area. And that is what he tells you.
So he was searching for an artifact or something out there related to this magical entity.
Like a temple, it sounds like.
Temple.
A temple.
Okay.
A temple that he thinks is shrouded and hidden within the green belt.
I feel like we just walked into Brill and picked up a bunch of fucking quests, because every time we talk to somebody, it's like, no, go here. No, go over here. No, go do this. Go kill 14 hogs. Whatever.
Well, speaking of killing 14 hogs, Keston is like, I got some gold for you guys.
I was going to say, we killed some nitwits or whatever they're called.
Yeah, I kind of want to introduce him to Mikmek and let him know that, we dealt with the kobolds and there shouldn't be a problem anymore. So if you do happen to see them out and about, don't attack on sight.
And don't attack Mikmek either.
Oh my God. Bob, Rob, Todd, hey, check it out there, fellas. Hey, can you hear me up there? And the three guys are like waving from up above the ramparts. And Keston's shouting up at them. He's like, don't kill the kobolds. They're fine now. They're not suit scales no more. Now they're snickerdoodle kobolds. They're different. and Bob, Rob, and Todd. A listener, by the way, mentioned that Jod rhymes with Bob, Rob, and Todd, and Jod now we have. And I thought that was pretty funny. So.
I think
the guy I was talking to was like, wait till Jod comes on the scene. I was like, yeah, I know.
I think
That's fucking funny.
I was going to say, we also need to get word back to Aldori that Tartuccio has been dealt with since he escaped, her security. She should probably know that he is no longer an issue.
Oh, Todd, I want you to get on Rudolph. I want you to ride like the wind to Restov. and tell... Todd's like, no, again, no. He does. He gets on Rudolph. He fucks off into go tell Jumanji Aldori what happened.
I kind of want to flag him down, and we'll have some correspondence later this evening to kind of send out.
Oh, sure.
So don't leave yet.
Oh, he says, okay, I'll stay.
I will write a letter to Jumanji also because she is my mentor.
That's true. Yeah, my gosh, I'll be very interested in what you guys want to say. I'll give you some time to work that all out. But yes, of course, yeah, Todd and Rudolph, whatever their names are.
Bob, Rod, and Todd. Bob, Rod,
Rob.
Todd. Rob. Yeah.
Bob, Rod, Todd.
I'll walk up to Svetlana and Oleg and kind of hand them the ring. Like we found this. I'm assuming this is yours.
Oleg and Svetlana look tearfully at the tarnished ring, now completely covered in grime.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wipe it off.
Spits on it, rubs it on his shirt. Here you go. Sorry.
Oleg will place it back on her finger, and it just blackens her ring finger as it's pushed on.
And she starts to turn yellow. That was actually the option.
She now has tetanus.
So I was like, it's just as beautiful as the day
It was the ring, not the statue.
You're right. It's just as beautiful as the day you gave it to me, Oleg. And Oleg will give you guys 50 gold pieces.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is way more than 12.
That is.
Yeah.
He says the sentimental value of this is just unbelievable. And by the way, fella's business has been picking up since you guys came. I can afford to slap you guys a 50. It gives you 10 fivers. Meanwhile, Keston will give you 40 gold pieces for resolving the kobold issues.
Oh my god.
So you guys now have a little bit of money now. I think you guys, by my estimate, you're probably up in the 600-700 gold range right now.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'll have to I got to upload the stuff from all this. But one inventory thing through all the crafting checks that I'm assuming I was able to do over the 6 days of traveling, I was able to make Serial some leather armor. Couldn't find a harness, but you do have an impact foam chassis attached to that.
Whoa.
Non-engineers or non-inventors can use those?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That was one of the crafting things that I worked on previously, was learning that gadget, how to make that gadget.
Siri has
What
airbags.
is that gadget?
This leather armor is like
It's got like
under Sirio's robes with the foam chassis, and it just kind of looks like Sirio's got a big old booty underneath his robes.
pretty much. Yep.
That's what I think is going on.
Butt cheek implants.
Yeah, it's got,
Serial got some junk in the trunk.
Just don't fall more than 10 feet unless you really, really mean it.
Every time Sirio
gets
sits
weird.
down, it's like a whoopee cushion going off.
I think Bashk and Dry are gonna at some point as a prank push them off of like a 10-foot ledge. Just to watch their airbags go off of.
Serial will be getting hauled up a rope, and I'm just going to cut the rope. Oops. Sorry.
Let's see. What else? Oh, something else to resolve here is you guys are unloading the moon radishes off of the the moon radishes. As you're unloading the moon radishes, Svetlana will take interest in them and ask for them. And,
I say we just give them to her.
She knows how to preserve them and can now, till the end of time, cook, because we got a bushel is a lot of moon radishes.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yep.
We spent all day collecting moon radishes. For the rest of the game, Svetlana is able to cook moon radish porridge or something, and you guys can eat at this encampment now for free. And I'm not sure if there's Moon radish gives you a buff or not. I don't know. I haven't looked at that yet.
And this is human cuisine, right?
Yes.
Human cuisine, yes.
Excellent.
As Bashk is handing the moon radishes over, he's just keeping direct eye contact with Mikmek. That
my God.
We took these moon radishes from you. Keep that in mind. He doesn't say that out loud, but that's what's being sent in his.
You do this with Mac's little cobalt tummies growling.
Remember eating those moon radishes with your 3 friends that are dead now?
That no longer exist.
It's like, frog fucker liked the ripest ones.
That's fucking
You
great.
and I played video games together growing up.
So I have a question
yeah.
about the outpost.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's becoming busier, is the items in the outpost for sale getting better?
Here's the deal. Oleg is able to anticipate some of your needs and order certain things that you might need down the line. So
You could put an order in, basically.
you
and
can
get it next time we're back.
not only can you put an order in, but there's a decent chance he may have stuff of a higher level that's useful to you. 3rd level gear that is good for you. We'll have to do a roll unless you've specifically told him you want it. And then, of course, it takes a couple of weeks to get to him. But to answer your question, Bill, yeah, I mean, he's got more money. He's able to, sell things to you at a slight profit, and so it behooves him to order stuff that you might want.
Let's see. We could do that off air. I'll
Yeah,
update
yeah, 100%.
the inventory and let's put a shopping list in of what people want.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
But do we want to take like a couple days of or 2-3 days of downtime here? Or
I'd say
get back on
yes,
the road?
just to relax and refocus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally, you can do that. And
Let Who just go fly around and hunt.
Do some.
Hoot and Dundee, friends forever. Gosh, anything
catch
else there,
Dundees.
guys? Anything else you want to take care of while you're here before we maybe slip down into more of a downtime mode? Bit of a resolution to a lot of threads and a couple new things happening here, but of course, looming above all of this still is the Stag Lord, and you can't help but wonder, what has he been doing the last 2 weeks that you were out hitting level 3 and taking care of this Mitflit Cobalt issue?
Maybe they didn't volunteer it, and maybe they don't know anything. But I think we would ask Keston and who's the new guy that showed up? Jod. We would ask them what information do they have? Any information on the Stag Lord? Have
they heard
his
from him?
goings on? Has there been any news related to that? The rumors?
Not the game nerd, but I think there's a downtime activity for that, right? Isn't there couldn't one of us spend some time like?
Well, you could possibly, yeah. I mean, well, I think maybe what you're talking about is like the gather information,
Right.
which is measured in hours, really. I mean, that's
okay.
designed for like, you're in a city somewhere trying to learn stuff. Keston doesn't know much else. I mean, Keston's been chilling at the trade post the whole time, but Jod is a fresh perspective. And here's a new piece of information about the Stag Lord. This has sort of been maybe hinted at, especially because you guys heard what happened to Bashk's, family. But you learned that, and you may have observed this a little bit too, but there aren't very many non-human Stag Lord bandits. Maybe there's an odd one from time to time, maybe a dwarf, maybe a halfling, but for the vast majority of the Stag Lord's bandits, they're all human. And what Jod will tell you is that the Stag Lord is a bit of a supremacist, and that he really only values humans in his inner circle, and that he will often kill other ancestries, other species, on sight because they are not human. And Jod just is very cold-faced, very stern as he relays this to you.
Yeah, very, very problematic themes going on here that we need to make right. All right.
I'm going to go on a killing spree, apparently.
Drycol May, he might not even accept you with
Yeah,
your half-elf heritage.
Well, he will accept the arrow I'm going to put in his head.
It does sound like
Does that
those.
like
Sleep arrow.
We maybe need to think of. I assume eventually we're going to need to get close to the Stag Lord versus an all-out, climb out of the gate. So maybe we need to think about how do we eventually disguises, secrecy, etc. That we can get
we've
ourselves
got a ritual. Yeah.
We did just
Yeah,
learn
that's
a ritual.
true. That's true. So maybe that's a good.
Make Syrio look like Dolph Lundgren.
What?
Why Dolph Lundgren? But why not Dolph Lundgren?
And why Sirio, who's already a human, but whatever. And we close this scene tonight with Keston once again approaching Sirio. And Keston's like, I just think I see it in the nose and the chin. You and I, Sirio? Man.
I don't know, man. Like, what's your last name?
Garrus.
That just doesn't seem to line up.
Well, just think it through, man. I just see it, in the nose. Look you got that chin dimple just like me.
The chin dimple. Maybe we can ask Rod to bring back a 23andMe test. Come back and just have him do that just to clear the air.
I know. Is there like a 2E version of Maury Povich or what?
We'll leave it there.